Welcome to the Abundance Zone, offering you tips and tools for supercharging your ability to attract more of what you desire into your life. Learn how to step into the Abundance Zone and stay there more consistently and watch your life transform. Hello, I'm Dr. Eve DeLunis, and I want to welcome you to episode 16 of the Abundance Zone. Have you been struggling without success to try to make changes in your relationships, your work life, your physical well-being, or your finances? If so, this episode of the Abundance Zone is for you. We are taught that the way to make changes in our lives is to focus on what's outside of ourselves. And while there are certainly times this is helpful or needed, it is actually by making little internal changes that we see the biggest positive shifts in our external reality. I have witnessed countless examples of this principle at work while doing decades of psychotherapy and coaching. For example, a 30-year-old professional woman was in an unsatisfying long-term relationship with a man who frequently lied to her, cheated on her, and treated her disrespectfully and unkindly. She'd been trying for years to change him, to no avail. In the meantime, life was passing her by, and yet she couldn't bring herself to end things with him. During a psychotherapy session, my client realized that she didn't feel deserving of a loving, harmonious relationship since her severely disabled sister, whom she loved dearly, would never have that. Even the thought of being in a beautiful relationship made her feel very guilty. By the end of our session, she came to the realization that her suffering was not helping her sister and that her sister wanted her to be happy. Although this makes logical sense, she had come to hold some irrational beliefs while still in childhood, and until our session, she hadn't realized that this subconscious program was actually controlling her and creating suffering for her. By the end of the session, she was able to open her heart to the possibility of allowing herself the kind of relationship with a man she had always desired. What happened next was nothing short of amazing. A man she had known through her work life for 2 years asked her out within just a few days of our session. He turned out to be a fantastic guy with similar values and interests to hers. He was kind, honest, thoughtful, and fun, and they fell in love. The rest is history. Now, you might think it was just a coincidence that he suddenly asked her out, but I know differently. She had to remove the keep out sign to the door to her heart before he could knock on that door and gain entrance. Again and again, I have seen these kinds of positive life shifts happen when people do some important inner housekeeping. The woman who has struggled to lose 50 extra pounds she is carrying around suddenly finds and sticks with a new program of diet and exercise and sees the results she has been trying to attain for years. The guy who has been trying so hard to build his business without any success suddenly has more sales than he ever imagined. The woman who longs for a child and has been dealing with fertility issues finds herself pregnant with twins. I'm very fond of the saying, nothing changes in your life until you do. And for me, that saying is great news because no matter what you want in your life, how you want your life to be different, chances are the key to making it happen already exists within you. I suggest, if you're feeling stuck, that you take an honest look within to see what may be hanging you up without judging what you see. Remember, we are all human and we all have hang-ups. I certainly have my share. I suggest asking your inner guidance to help you be aware of what is holding you back within, and affirm that you're open to seeing the truth without judgment. And then ask yourself some important questions. First, do you believe you deserve to have what you want? If you don't, you're very, very normal. Many of us, at some level deep within, have the belief that we don't really deserve to have what we want. Not as much, not as wonderful, not as beautiful, not as fulfilling, for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes we're taught to think that way in our early years through our religions, through our families, through what we observe or what we hear. If you need help with this, Episode 6 of The Abundance Zone, which was published on May 15th, may be helpful. It's called Are You Blocking the Flow of Abundance in Your Life? And it's all about feeling deserving. The second question you might ask yourself is, what fears come up when you think about getting what you want? When we're blocked in getting what we want, most of us are experiencing fears. And that's what's blocking us. And so you might want to turn to episode 12, published on June 26th, which is about subconscious limiting beliefs, which are very often beliefs that generate fear for us. And again, those are beliefs that come very early in our lives, and often we're not even aware they're there, but they are, and they're affecting what we attract into our lives because they impact our vibration and they can keep us out of the abundance zone. Another question to ask yourself, question number 3, are you secretly believing that it's not possible to get what you want? If this is true, again, I refer you to June 26th episode on subconscious limiting beliefs, episode 12. Question number 4, do you tell yourself it hasn't happened yet, so it never will? If so, you may want to look at episode 5 on May 8th, called Train Your Brain to Think Higher Vibrational Thoughts. I think that episode would be helpful to you. And lastly, question number 5. Are you judging yourself harshly for not already having manifested what you desire in your life? If this is the case for you, you might want to look at episode 4, published on May 4th, about silencing your inner critic. And as well, you might want to listen to episode 11, published on June 19th, all about self-love. When you ask yourself these questions and give yourself time to really reflect on your answers, you will typically find that your answers point to core beliefs. And those core beliefs, again, are part of your vibration, even when you aren't consciously aware of them. Change these, and like my client, you open the door to what you have been wanting. What about you? What are your thoughts about this? Do you have any questions about this? I would love to hear from you. You can contact me at eve@theabundancezone.net. Also, don't forget to sign up for my monthly newsletter at theabundancezone.net. This will give you access to free guided meditations, information about free upcoming live question and answer sessions, and lots more uplifting information about raising your vibration. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening in. I really appreciate it, and I wish you a beautiful week. Bye.